Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the NTA. I am Ifoma Ojinta. You can follow this news live on our website nta.ng/live and other social media handles displayed on the screen. Now, a story coming from the Senate indicates that the era of indiscriminate importation and use of chemicals in Nigeria will soon be over. The legislators have passed for second reading the bill that seeks to establish the National Research Institute for Chemical Technology. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Onkwo reports.
Poor or lack of conversion of agricultural minerals and other raw materials into commercially useful substance has been a challenge to Nigeria's chemical industry. Consequently, Nigeria relies heavily on imported chemicals and its derivatives. This has given rise to poor monitoring and control of chemical elements, especially those used for the production of improvised explosive devices. The Senate is saying this cannot continue unabated. A bill sponsored by Senator Sadiq Umar seeks to improve research and development in the industry and provide stringent monitoring.
The institute shall be a renowned center of international excellence in fields of effluent monitoring and control, both chemical, biological, man-made fiber technologies.
If we look at our earnings, even some of the raw materials which we have them here, which we can research on them and make them processed here, are being imported.
Research Institute for Chemical Technology exists in Zaria. My thought, what could be done is to amend the act of that institute to accommodate whatever is not done there.
The institute, when established, is also expected to establish a national laboratory for the prevention and detection of chemical weapons. But Senator Stephanus Gyang made an observation on this clause.
This component of the bill are functions that are already being handled by other established bodies. And I don't think there will be need to review the mandate of the institute.
So what the committee will do is now look at the mandate of the NARIC in Nigeria and look at the intendment of this bill and then match them together and then come out with a legal framework that will give the NARIC in Nigeria or whatever name is going to come up with to continue in this research.
But I also agree that there is need to look what the mandate of the existing institution in Zaria is.
The institute, when established, is expected to receive 1.1 billion naira allocation in the first 12 months. Senate has constituted two conference committees. One is the conference committee that will harmonize the reports on the Nigerian Peace Corps and the proliferation of small arms and light weapons prohibition bill. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Onkwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has urged authorities to deploy additional security personnel to parts of Edo State to tackle kidnapping and other forms of crime. This is coming on the heels of the recent kidnap of train passengers at the Igweben train station, some of whom have been rescued by security personnel. The motion moved by Representative Segios Ogun brought to the attention of the lawmakers two other incidents of kidnap in Uguneki town on the 9th of January. House members observed with sadness the death of DSP Michael Adams, who lost his life during a rescue operation following a gun draw with the kidnappers and commended the security personnel for their bravery and sacrifice. The House also requested the setting up of a police mobile force base and Nigerian army barracks forward operating base to ward off perpetrators of crime around the area. The former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, has called on politicians to focus their campaigns on marketing of ideas and not character assassination that will heat up the polity. The former president made this call during the inauguration of a 1.15 kilometer Afi Ukontege Bridge in Umbo, local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Kevin Samuel reports.
The journey of this bridge is said to have begun in the year 1964, when, due to the unbearable sufferings of the people in the area, a delegation was sent to the then Premier of Eastern Region in Edo State to make a case for the construction of the bridge, which commenced finally in 1965, but was later abandoned in 1966. It is therefore not surprising to see the joy on the faces of the people as the bridge, which is said to be among the first 4 longest bridges in the country, is finally completed and put to use by Governor Udom Emmanuel's administration.
We have returned all glory to God. Let no man share in the glory. Because what do we have that we do not receive from God? The wisdom, the passion, the capacity, the drive, everything to make things happen, all came from God.
The former president, Goodluck Jonathan, in his speech, applauds the developmental initiatives of Governor Udom while explaining that only those who live in riverine areas will fully understand the importance of bridges.
The strategic development plan has delivered great dividends to the people of this great state. Today, we are here again to commission a special project which, like Governor Udom's other projects, is designed to promote economic growth and improve the lives of our people.
The bridge was thereafter inaugurated amidst goodwill messages. In Uyo, Kevin Samuel, NTA.
Nigerians are becoming more aware of their rights as enshrined in the Constitution. This is largely attributable to the level of sensitization. The Nigeria Police Trust Fund, set up by the Buhari administration, is partly responsible for this through various human angle projects executed by the Police Trust Fund, including the Force Radio. Francis Form Reports takes a look at some of these projects and now reports.
It is an intervention agency established by the federal government to bridge the funding gap in the force. Based on its assessment of the force, the Trust Fund embarked on the construction of the newly established NPF Cybercrime and Control Office Complex, IGP Resource and Conference Center, renovation of barracks and warehouse, amongst others. A visit to some of the project sites within the FCT indicates that some of the projects are at various stages of completion, while some have been completed.
The cybercrime center is about 870 million, and that of police quarters is about 470 million. The contractor has gone in accordance with the specifications, and he has also promised to deliver by end of February.
Another project that is dear to the force is the Police Force Radio.
Most of the projects that were provided for Nigerian police will have added large value to their constitutional responsibilities.
Executive Secretary of the Trust Fund says the project is expected to enhance the productivity of officers and men in ridding the nation of all forms of crime and criminality through intelligence gathering. Francis from NTA News.
The Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment is building the nation's capacity towards exploring full economic potential under the Free Trade and Special Economic Zones. This is during the official inauguration of some projects in Kano to promote activities within the corridors of the Free and Social Economic Zones led by Minister of States Mariam Katagum. The projects are Muhammadu Buhari Road Network Administrative Block, Training Hub, ultra-modern administrative block, investment suites and other structures to support operations of the zone. The platforms, which are being spearheaded by the ministry, will strengthen trade relations, enhance productivity of Nigeria's economy and ensure healthy growth of the GDP. Wearing a well-tailored cloth made from homegrown cotton is the desire of players in the cotton value chain. This is as the country's textile links recorded a whopping $64 million in foreign exchange through the support of the Central Bank of Nigeria's Anchor Borrowers Program. This desire is being expressed at the ongoing first Nigeria International Cotton Summit and Expo 2023 in Abuja.
In the 1980s and 1990s, Nigeria had one of Africa's largest textile industry, with more than 180 textile mills, employing close to 450,000 workers and contributing in excess of 25% of the workforce in the manufacturing sector. This is not the case today. But efforts like the contribution of the Central Bank of Nigeria's Anchor Borrowers Program, in addition to synergy, is seen as the magic wand towards winning ways.
The Nigerian economy has enormous potential to become the hub of African trade, with the largest market in West Africa of over 200 million people.
The theme of this event, which is revamping the cotton value chain, is apt, as it would stimulate more interest and attention in cotton as a product.
These cotton products will have to be reintroduced and made fashionable for people to start buying them again.
The unveiling and display of these uniforms is evident to the fact that stakeholders are walking the talk and believe that robust implementation of Executive Order 003 will go a long way in expanding production.
We must continue to bring the CTG sector to the forefront of the thoughts of our leaders and ourselves, even as industry players. So yes, there's been some improvements.
Conversations on the way forward with stakeholders across the continent continues. In Abuja, Boss Ebo continues.
In the meantime, World Economic Forum fashions out a new intervention to unlock $3 trillion annually for climate and nature. On Ngefine Face reports.
Philanthropic givings totaled $810 in 2021, but only 2% of it went towards reducing carbon emissions.
It is also not about diverting funds away from social causes and other activities, but it's how we can integrate climate nature considerations when we are giving. And finally, is around how we can be more effective in this giving to link this mighty P with public-private action so that we can move at speed and scale.
Giving to Amplify Earth Action, Gaia, launched at the World Economic Forum, will ramp philanthropic capital to generate $3 trillion each year from public and private sources to tackle climate change, reverse nature loss, and restore biodiversity by 2050.
Of the 20 most affected countries in the world from climate crisis, 17 are in Africa. And if we're going to keep faith with the Global South and we're going to be real about dealing with justice in this transition, then we have to make sure we're bringing the Global South along, even though that's adaptation and that's resilience and talking about loss and damage.
And therefore we need to work collectively to be able to also push philanthropic action and money into adaptation, resilience, to avoid things that happen.
Over the next 12 months, this initiative will identify and target climate and nature solutions, pilot and refine funding models to support climate interventions. Onengie Fine Face, NTA News.
Time now to join Hingino in Lagos for trending stories from that zone. Good to see you, Hingino.
Thank you, Ifoma. More eligible Nigerians can now get their permanent voter cards to guarantee their franchise in the forthcoming election with the extension of PVC collection period by INEC. Correspondent Joel Okpola reports that the extension has not reduced the anxiety as Lagosians continue to throng various wards across the state in their quest to get their cards.
Since the collection of permanent voter cards commenced at the registration areas, the apprehension of Lagosians has been visible as they jostle day in day out to collect their PVC. Scenes like this at Ajumoni Secondary School, Okota Ward 9, made INEC to extend the exercise by 1 week to give more Nigerians the opportunity to take part in the exercise.
Those who may not have time to collect it is an opportunity for them.
That means it have given me another room to go and make sure that I got my PVC.
From the island to the mainland, Nigerians are willing to defy the odds to get their cards.
It feels as a sense of achievement because I know what I went through to get this.
This is my first PVC and this is the first time I'm going to have the privilege to vote.
Despite the extension, the crowd at registration areas in Lagos has not reduced, with many still unable to get their cards after several attempts.
They can see the way they can handle it better for us that is going to be a stress here.
I think they need more hand, but this is not organized. If they organize it very well, it will be good.
INEC Administrative Secretary in Lagos, Adebisi Ajayi, says the electoral umpire will deploy more personnel to fast-track the exercise.
Every day, we ensure that where we have crowd, we increase the number of collection centers. And we know this through the monitoring mechanisms we have put in place.
Overall total PVCs collected as of January 15, 2023 in Lagos State is 6,299,036, while uncollected PVCs is 1,211,455. Collection of PVC will now end at the wards on January 22, 2023 and continue thereafter at INEC office in local government areas till January 29, 2023. In Lagos, Joel Okpola, NTA News.
January, the first month of the year, is often characterized by financial anxiety for many people over what they call January cash crunch. Is this claim a myth or a truth? This report examines why many see January as the longest month of the year.
The month of January is unique for so many reasons. Being the first month of the year, it represents a new beginning when people are coming out of the euphoria of Yuletide celebrations, embrace the reality of surviving another year. The first 4 weeks in the new year, many say, is often difficult because there is less to spend, while businesses tend to be slow.
Dirty December and everybody has spent their money. January is quite long and so we are waiting for the end of the month to collect salary.
Curious as it sounds, this situation is a yearly reality for many who are caught in the web of January cash crunch due to what some respondents believed to be self-inflicted.
Some Nigerians think that if you don't live large, like they say, you are nobody. Well, you shouldn't spend what you don't have.
Most people during the December season, they go the extra mile, they spend for their family, they take care of their loved one, even people that are in need.
These experts say January can also be a profitable time since demand is usually low around this period.
To me, prices come down in January because of pressure of the purchasing power of people and the demand pressure. Prices go up in December.
It's the first month of the year. It will normally start very slowly. So not enough activity for the first 1 week, sometimes even for 2 weeks. So because of that, the economic activity is a little bit on the low side.
However, there are some difficulties that many may encounter during this period. Financial experts encourage Nigerians to imbibe the culture of proper financial planning.
Non-discretionary expenses that I will have to face in January. Make provision for them and don't spend January money in December.
To break this trend and reverse this unwanted narrative, Nigerians agreed that the culture of frivolous spending should be curtailed. In Lagos, Joel Okpola, NTA News.
You're still watching the news on the network service of the NTA. Nationwide continues with comfort in Enugu. But do not forget that you can still follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates.
Nigeria now we country, everything na the party, now one man be a everything on the party, now one man be a the president we need, the president we go.
People of Nigeria don't talk up. Them say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu they want as president of Nigeria. Our country people get many reasons wey make them all agree say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu them choose for this president election. Yes, so Bola Tinubu na man wey sabi anything wey he put in hand, he dey work wella. He do better work for Lagos State when he be governor. Till today, Lagos people still dey enjoy from all the better things wey Jaburata for Lagos. People of Nigeria, e good to make we vote for who sabi. As e come be so, make we all come out for election day and vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria. Vote Senator Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party with the broom.
Vote the president we go.
What are we doing as a nation? Well, first of all, settle our teeming populace, especially NTA's political package, with a third eye on the nation's political scene. I'm Pisa Ogugu. Well,
you have to be very careful giving space to people who are obviously sponsored to further the agenda of some other groups.
A lot of questions. A lot of questions in a closed door sessions. Some of these issues, some of the problems bedeviling the over. In fact, between June 1st and July 17th, 19.something billion has left the coffers of the NDC.
I can say my constituency, they need everything because we don't have anything.
Nigeria is at the crossroads. Nigerians yearn for a rescuer, and the time to choose wisely is now. Who will save our fatherland? Who will rescue Nigeria? Only one man. He is battle ready, tested and trusted, capable and dependable. He is Atiku Abubakar. We call him the unifier on a rescue mission. He's detribalized, uncompromised, and ready to make Nigeria great again. Atiku is coming together with Ifeanyi Okowa. His team is unbeatable. This is no time for sentiment. It's time for competence. Atiku is the best option for a brighter tomorrow. Let's vote Atiku for president come 2023. Vote PDP. Power to the people. This message is powered by Senator Ehige Uzame.
And many thanks for joining us in Enugu. Enugu State's resident electoral commissioner says INEC is committed to delivering a peaceful, credible, free and fair elections in few weeks. He made the assertion while speaking on the recent forward attacks on Enugu South local government area facility. The report. Coming at a time, INEC is distributing PVC in less than 40 days to the general elections. The situation would have halted the process and elections in the area, but reverse is the case as electoral materials, both sensitive and non-sensitive, are safe. And the REC says the repealed attack on the facility only affected the security house, leaving behind rebels.
If accidentally the PVC was got burned at that point, how many days to the election? How are we going to play the PVCs? Or some of the electoral materials in that place, call it beavers, call it other sensitive or non-sensitive materials.
Meanwhile, discreet investigation and manhunt of hoodlums behind the repealed attack, the police who confirmed the incident says is ongoing.
We have to prepare extra. So we are already on it. You know, it's a security matter, and I think the commissioner of police is on top of it, and the garrison commandant, 82 division, is also on top of the matter. The team of the excess members, they are on it, so we are reviewing to know where forward.
It will be recalled that there was a horrific incident in some local government of Enugu South where people were killed, vehicles burned, and journalists covering elections kidnapped, others brutalized during the local government elections of February 23, 2022. In Enugu, and the depletion of Nigerian workforce, especially in the medical field, has become a huge source of concern, with a doctor-to-patient ratio now at 1 to 10,000 as against the World Health Organization recommendation of 1 to 1,000 ratio. In this report, Chika Ugu takes a look at medical brain drain and its effects on the Nigerian healthcare sector.
It is no longer news that most Nigerians travel abroad either to study, to get proper health care service, or to seek for greener pastures. But the sudden surge to travel to developed countries, especially in the health sector, is becoming worrisome. According to the Nigerian Medical Association rating, no fewer than 50 medical doctors leave the shores of the country weekly in search for greener pastures. These medical practitioners complain of poor working conditions, low income, salary areas, lack of insurance and remunerations, as well as insecurity as the biggest challenges they face in Nigeria.
Nigerians have always produced the best trained doctors because we do a lot of practical work here.
Public hospitals in the country seems to be the worst hit by this brain drain, leaving fewer specialists and health workers, a situation that is putting pressure on the available ones due to work overload.
Because of lack of doctors, people die. An effect is that people overwork themselves. Doctors are stressed. No allowance. The life expectancy of a doctor have been reduced.
The effect of this worrisome trend is that most Nigerians have lost faith in the health sector and seek for treatments overseas, thereby also affecting the country's economy. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from here. He's back to Abuja for more reports on Nationwide.
Thank you, Comforts. And to politics now, the All Progressives Congress APC says it is ready to repeat history by coasting home to victory in Kwara State in the forthcoming general elections. The party made the declaration during its presidential rally in Ilorin. Musbaut and Wahab reports.
Ilorin stands still for Ashiwaju as his campaign train hit the state of harmony. Kwara has been an APC state since 2015. The APC flipped the state completely with the Autogare movement in 2019. And 4 years later, the party believes there is another statement to make. This time, it is to maintain its dominance in the state.
Fathers, you have spoken. Are you hearing me? You have given us the confidence we need to move forward. Vote on the 25th of February next year. We knew what we found in 2019 when we got in. We found a first state, and we have been able to turn things around from education, healthcare. All the indices have gone up. Now, we need to continue to support this party at the state and federal level.
The crowd, filled with party members and supporters at Metropolitan Square, turned what was supposed to be a campaign into a carnival to endorse Bola Tinubu, who urged the Kwaran electorate to translate their turnout to massive votes for other parties' candidates.
You going to select that freedom? Let me see your hands up. BBC, you want to
Kwara State has about 1.7 million registered voters, and APC says the turnout here is a testament to its popularity. From Ilorin, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
The National Orientation Agency is sensitizing eligible voters on provisions of the new Electoral Act and the date for active participation in the forthcoming elections. Director General of the agency, Dr. Garba Abari, took the campaign to Nasarawa State. Aliu Tijani reports.
With few weeks to the 2023 general elections, the National Orientation Agency is mobilizing voters for active participation, and the campaign train hits Lafia, the Nasarawa State capital. Issues of voter apathy and violence before, during and after elections are of concern to stakeholders, and NOA says it is reaching out to all parts of the country. Director General of NOA, Dr. Garba Abadi, Governor Abdullahi Sule, Emir of Lafia, representative of civil society organizations, among others, say the campaign is apt and will further deepen democratic process in the country.
The narratives being put out by various categories of leaders at various levels is critical for the conduct of a free, fair, and credible 2023 general elections.
It is indeed a collective responsibility of all, including security agencies, our community leaders, religious leaders, rural fathers, opinion leaders, among others, who must come together to ensure the success of elections for the benefit of all.
Message well delivered. It behold on the electorate to get involved and ensure 2023 elections is a success. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
As the uploading of all parties' polling agents to INEC portal ends, the Abuja School of Social and Political Thoughts is tasking the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC to simplify its digital process or extend deadline to ensure inclusivity of all parties. Scholars also commended INEC for swift response to issues concerning 2023 elections. Ikechukwu Ndukwe reports.
Section 43 of the Electoral Act 2022 mandates political parties to submit list of polling agents to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) before elections. The Abuja School of Political Thought is urging the nation's electoral body, the INEC, to extend the submission deadline.
There are 18 parties registered for this election. There are 4 big parties. Therefore, there are at least 14 not well-established political parties. Those non-established political parties have stake in this election, and everything should be done to get them along.
Some of these recommendations that are contained in his briefing will be able to have 2023 outcomes emerge as the best so far.
While commending INEC for the extension of the collection of the PVC, these scholars called on the electoral body to be fair to all parties. Ikechukwu Ndukwe, NTA News.
And Sokoto is our next stop on Nationwide. Nana is our guide. Hello, Nana.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sokoto. The implementation of federal government's emergency intervention to flood victims is to assist farmers affected by flood with modern farming inputs and seeds that will support their speedy recovery from the impact of disaster. Abdullahi Umar Ilelu reports that the enrollment of farmers has commenced in Suru local government area of Kebbi State.
Flood remains one of the major impediments to achieving food sufficiency in Nigeria and the world over. Hence, the various interventions by the federal government to assist farmers affected by flood to reduce the gap created and by extension sustain food supply across the country. This time, the federal government is to assist 120,000 farmers affected by the 2022 flooding in Kebbi State with farming inputs. Shehu Muazu is the chairman federal government's emergency intervention to flood victims in Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara states.
Mr. President has approved the disbursement of fertilizers, knapsacks, and herbicides free of charge to farmers.
On the measures to ensure the grant reaches the affected farming communities, he explains.
And as you can see, we are in their farms and we are registering them on their farms. So I think that is a very good measure
for us to ensure that it's only those that are in the farm that have benefited.
The benefiting farmers in Suru local government applaud the intervention, saying it will take them back to their farms.
Ga harkar noma mun samu cigaba, ni da ka gane na wallahi ina noma fiye da buhu 100 na kaina.
The Buhari government has supported us. I now harvest over 100 bags of rice and will improve on that. We really appreciate.
Dole gingen magana aka na COVID-19 na magana tsada abinci.
The global COVID-19 pandemic did not affect Nigeria much because Buhari has supported and motivated us to farming. We cannot thank him enough.
We really appreciate their efforts. We thank them.
Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
The Methodist Church of Nigeria has inaugurated Sokoto Diocese to cover Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara states. Right Reverend Ishaya Kunama is the pioneer bishop. Alhatu Abdullahi completes the story.
The inauguration of Right Reverend Ishaya Kunama as the pioneer bishop of the Diocese of Sokoto Methodist Church of Nigeria is in accordance with Section 23, Subsection 4 and Section 370 of the 2021 Constitution of the Methodist Church. Inaugurating the bishop, the prelate of the Methodist Church, Dr. Oliver Ali Abba, said the diocese was created to cover Sokoto, Kebbi, and Zamfara states to disseminate the gospel of Jesus Christ throughout the zone. He tasked the Christian faithfuls in the country to continue to preach and propagate the message of Christ.
We took the church to them where the gospel have never reached. We have to say, let the gospel be there.
The new bishop of the Diocese of Sokoto, Right Reverend Ishaya Kunama, assured of taking the diocese to greater heights. The bishop called for unity among members of the church and the different religious groups in the country, describing unity and peace as an essential ingredient for national development.
And if there is one thing we must do is to build bridges, so that anywhere there are divisions, we should be able to have the love of one another.
Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, Most Reverend Matthew Hassan Kuka, said with the 2023 elections approaching, there is need for Christians to elect credible leaders who will take the country to the promised land. The occasion featured unveiling of the Methodist Church Diocese. Meanwhile, the Sokoto State government has held a dinner to honor the new bishop. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
That story completes our package. We now head over back to Abuja for the rest of Nationwide.
Better days are coming. Better days have gifts of hope and strength. To keep them hope alive, bring them smiles back to all Nigerians.
It's a new dawn in Nigeria. Renewed hope beckons on our people. The silver lining dots the skies. The firmament portents a bright future as the people of Nigeria move to vote a man whom they have come to trust for the realization of their aspirations for a better Nigeria. That man is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He has been tested. He can be trusted. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria 2023. Vote Kashim Shettima as Vice President. Vote APC. Surely with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the smiles are returning. We are close to home.
Bring them smiles back to all Nigerians.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message from the National Orientation Agency.
time don't come for every man to fight for the soul of the country, Nigeria. Now, who go save our fatherland? Who go rescue Nigeria? Now, only one man, he stand gidigba and he ready for the battle. Now, man, we fit trust Kankpe. He get experience, he get sense, and we all know him. He know na Atiku Abubakar. We dey call him the unifier, and in job now to save the country and bring our people together. He get Nigeria for mind, and he ready to work make Nigeria safe and better again. Atiku dey come together with Ifeanyi Okowa. This team na helele. This no be time for sentiment or padi. No, this na time for competence. This man sabi him job wella. Atiku na the answer and solution for a brighter and safer tomorrow. Make we vote Atiku for president for 2023. Vote PDP. Power to the people. Now, Senator Ehige Uzame, they bring una this message.
Thank you for joining us on NTA Port Harcourt Network Center. Prospective voters are taking advantage of the extended timeline to collect their PVCs following the extension by 1 week. Kingsley Amajiri reports that the process is also characterized with different challenges. His reports.
The 22nd, 2023, a visit to some of the centers showed that Nigerians are desirous to participate in the 2023 general election process as they come out to pick up their PVCs. There are, however, complaints and some level of disappointment among some of the prospective voters. Chioma Okoji is dismayed that the officials allegedly gave out her PVC to someone else in her absence, while Nneka Eze is crying foul that her details could not be found in INEC system even when the transfer of voting location was recorded successful in the update she did.
I submitted this at my unit. So when I got to, the day I went to get it, they were telling me that they called my name and somebody else picked my card.
Went there, only for them to tell me that I don't have record with INEC. Just come back to your INEC office.
Why they reject things like this? We are in a 21st century that they can say test to somebody, your card is this, where they advise wisely.
INEC Public Affairs Manager in Rivers State, Geraldine Ekelemu, notes that the law forbids giving out the PVCs by proxy, noting that those who failed to pick up their PVCs after January 29, 2023 would wait till after the elections.
That the transfer of their names are not on the register or collection register as it were. The process is that you are expected to go back to the INEC offices. The LGAs have what we call the PVC desk officer. Locate these individuals at the INEC LGA offices and make your complaints to them.
In the meantime, INEC has issued notice of the 2023 upcoming general elections in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
We are sorry for the poor audio output in that report. Governor Bayelsa State Senator Diri has sworn in Justice Matilda Abrakasa Ayemeye as the acting Chief Judge of the state. Justice Ayemeye took oath of office in acting capacity following the retirement of Justice Keta Abiri, who served as Chief Judge of the state for 15 years. Fred Owefe reports.
Section 271 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria indicates that the Chief Judge of a state must be made by the governor on recommendation of the National Judicial Council and subject to confirmation of the appointment by the House of Assembly of the state. While taking the oath of office, Governor Diri charged the new acting Chief Judge to maintain the cordial relationship between the executive and judicial arm of government in the state. Governor Diri stressed that Justice Ayemeye is eminently qualified for the position and tasked her to carry her colleagues along in order to move the state judiciary to a greater height.
I charge you to maintain the harmonious relationship that this government has enjoyed with the judicial arm of government and with the legislative arm of government.
Justice Ayemeye, who has served Rivers and Bayelsa State in various capacities, noted that the judiciary will witness quick dispensation of justice under a watch.
What we intend to do, and we are discussing it with the governor, is to make sure that all our courts outside the Nagwa are opened up so that justice will come closer to the people.
Former Chief Judge of the state, Justice Kate Abiri, bowed out of active service last week, paving way for her successor, Justice Matilda Brakasa Ayemeye, who has worked briefly at NTA Port Harcourt from 1980 to 1981. She was also a member of the Election Petition Tribunal in 2007 and chairperson of Bayelsa Zone of FIDA in 2001, among other offices. Fred Owefie, NTA News.
And that's our package from Port Harcourt. Nationwide continues with Ifoma in Abuja.
Thank you very much. And the federal government will continue to partner health institutions in the country to deliver quality medical care for its citizens. Minister of State for Health, Dr. Joseph Ekumakama, said this during the inauguration of projects at the National Obstetric Fistula Center, Abakaliki. Caleb Ubuna reports.
The 17 projects inaugurated included the maternity complex, dialysis unit, oxygen production plant, Norfolk guest house, among others. These projects, according to the minister, are in line with the federal government's vision of delivering excellent health services for the people.
Indeed, this plan has done a lot for this country. I'm developing my own teaching hospital, and I will lay the foundations to my next road. Our country's offices are free for all new and Baptist. We do not begin to weekends. We decided to track on the
The National Obstetric Fistula Center Abakaliki, which majorly deals on reproductive issues, is among three of such centers that presently exist in the country. In Abakaliki, Kelebubuna, NTA.
34 drug barons are currently in the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency's net, with their fate to be soon decided in coming weeks. NDLEA correspondent Abdulmalik Hassan reports that this was disclosed at the agency's media briefing in Abuja.
The fight against illicit drugs and trafficking has been on for quite some time, and for 2 years now, the results in curbing the organized crime is seen as remarkable. Though tough and a challenging one to tackle, the methods deployed by the Marwa-led leadership is making impact.
We shall maintain best practices, intensify training, and add more teeth to our operations in terms of arms, mobility, and will be more intelligence-led.
Here, meeting with journalists for the first time this year after an exhaustive 2022, apparently with key prospects.
Drug cartels and barons. Last year, I issued a New Year appeal to them and also warned that those who refuse to heed the warning will find themselves in a difficult situation. We have 34 barons in our nets and they are facing the music in court. They have secured orders for the temporary forfeiture of their assets. With our prosecution being top-notch, they can look forward to a long time in prison and final forfeiture of their wealth and assets.
Now more than 500 billion naira worth of psychoactive substances and assets were seized in the past 2 years.
And I would like to remind
this day NDLEA boss issued a stern warning to illegal drug traders with practice to become fiercer. Abdulmalik Hassan, NTA News.
Every Nigerian graduate from tertiary institutions around the world look forward to the day they will be called for national service. So to kickstart the process, a forum was organized by the corps to help fine-tune future arrangements and policy guidelines for a seamless 2023 orientation exercise. Olayinka Ojo reports.
More than a week ago, a workshop that serves as the foundation that signals the beginning of the service year was held.
We have in recent times experienced impressive improvements leading to great reduction in the mobilization of unqualified persons.
After plugging all leakages for effective mobilization process, it is now time to see the NYSC orientation course as a veritable tool for social-cultural and moral re-engineering.
In the course of this workshop, participants will review the previous orientation exercises with a view to evaluating our performances for better operations during the forthcoming exercise.
Despite the tremendous successes recorded over the years, some challenges of inadequate and dilapidated facilities on camp still persist.
Appeal to state governments, most especially in development and upgrade of facilities at the orientation camps.
On the 2023 elections,
be neutral. That is why, in the first place, that core members are put in that exercise.
With all said and done, the 2023 Batch A orientation course is expected to commence by the end of January. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
In line with global military standards, the Nigerian Army is improving facilities at its Land Forces Simulation Center with the acquisition of state-of-art hard and softwares. The latest is the acquisition and installation of Massa Sword, an advanced wargaming military software. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa was at the center in Giri, Abuja.
With this brief symbolic ceremony, the Nigerian Army can now boast of a state-of-the-art simulation center to further enhance operational efficiency in the ongoing drive to stem security threats. Though the center was established in 2019, the recent acquisition of the Massa Sword software and other critical equipment fully operationalized the center for combat and support services.
The Nigerian Army that is combat ready can only be built through effective training on simulation technologies such as artificial intelligence and other software applications installed in this center will provide this opportunity. The installation of Massa Sword simulation software will mark a turning point in the novel history of the center.
The center is focusing on using simulation technology to facilitate the Nigerian Army's operational readiness doctrine in peace and war times.
It is gratifying to note that the Chief of Army Staff, in his quest to make the center one of the best simulation training centers sub-Saharan Africa, recently approved procurement and installation of the VBS4 software. This will complement the Massa Sword battle decision-making software and enable the center to exercise individual entities, which will include Nigerian Army personnel at section and platoon levels.
The event also marks the commencement of the first quarter 2022 simulation exercise for the Army. From the Nigerian Army Simulation Center in Giri, Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And next is sports updates.